Hello, family, and everybody else watching. This is the week 2 results. We've just finished the second week of the 2022 NFL season, and as you can see, the order hasn't changed much. I'm still in the lead. I took a dip this week. Reia has jumped up back to where I believed she would be at 68%, and then Mama You and Mr. Kite have both vastly improved their records. If you're confused about the win percentage, I don't do the calculations. ESPN does the calculations on their Pick'em website, so that's where we're playing. And we're doing confidence, so our games are ranked based on how we feel each team is going to do. So that might factor into our win percentage. Anyways, obviously, most of us picked the Bills. Only crazy Reia went with the Titans, and that's why she has a different golden pick. We all were pretty confident about the Bills, and they totally destroyed the Titans, so we got a bunch of points from that. No worries, though, for Reia, because the Rams did beat the Falcons barely. That was kind of crazy weekend, so... And then our fumbles, as you can all imagine, only the prophet Reia could possibly know that Dallas was going to beat. I mean, Dallas did it to us last year. We got Cooper rushed last year by the Cowboys, so it happens. So yeah, that's why three of us are looking pretty sad, and nobody can blame Reia for taking the Ravens against the Dolphins. I mean, they were looking pretty good, and that game was pretty crazy. If you didn't catch it, my goodness. The black sheep picks kind of turned out for us this week. You did not have any black sheep picks. Obviously, Reia got Dallas right, and that was really huge. But then she also got the Texans and the Bears and the Titans all wrong. So I came really close to getting the Jets and the Panthers, and I barely got the Jets. That was another crazy game with an onside kick. And then, of course, Mr. Kite just taking the Dolphins. He had a gut feeling about it, and it really turned out well for him. You can hear about that on our week 2 picks video. And so ultimately, we're kind of squaring things up here in week 2. I think it's time to sell on the Colts after that embarrassing loss to the Jaguars. Not sure how I'm feeling about the Lions, because they're looking really good too. So our week 3 picks will be up in a few days, and when that time comes, tell us what you think. So there you have it, and we'll catch you guys later. Yeah, nothing really else to say about that, huh? Man, I wish I could just talk about every single game, because some of these were really nuts. Cardinals, Raiders, I mean, goodness gracious me, that... I thought Arizona was toast. I thought their season was done. I was watching that game. And then slowly but surely they start coming back, and then that 2-point conversion play happened. I just couldn't believe, like the rest of the world who saw that. That was just crazy. Yeah, and then really sad news with Trey Lance. I heard about that too. The Bears and Packers game was terrible, as one could expect. I mean, and people are going to use that because, well, the Bears beat the Niners in the rain, and then they use that to springboard Green Bay. Green Bay beat the Bears pretty good, so... And then the Vikings lose to the Eagles, so it's like, oh, Vikings aren't that great. They build us up. They just build us up so that they can use us as a springboard for their teams that they want to talk about. So I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Yeah, if I could do like a bottom 5, like teams I just don't trust anymore. I think the Colts... And I don't know about the, the Seattle's really hard to figure out. I don't think the Bears are actually all that good. Um, and the Texans, I think the best 0-2 team is probably the Falcons and the Raiders, because the Raiders aren't bad. They just messed up. So I think it's time to sell on the Colts. The Panthers probably should uh, not buy too much into the Seahawks or the Bears or the Texans. Still some hope for the Titans. Even I mean, when you play against a really good Bills team, what are you supposed to do? If I were to reverse it and talk about my tops teams, I think the Bills are definitely number one. I think the Chiefs and the Bucks are good, and I think the Dolphins are really interesting, and I think the Eagles are good. I think the Eagles have a really solid chance of getting the top seed in the NFC. The Rams just don't look like they have it, and the Bucks are falling apart like the wheels are coming off from what I've heard. I haven't really watched a Bucks game yet, so a Buccaneers game yet, so not fully. Well, oh no, wait. I kind of watched the Dallas game, and they looked good. And look at what Dallas's defense did to the Bengals. So, but I think that the Eagles this time are gonna have either a 1 or 2 seed. Because who in the NFC, who's gonna compete? Not us. I think we have a chance at the division still, depending on how the Packers actually turn out, because they've been an enigma ever since LeFleur has gotten there. So I'm totally rambling. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. So I think AFC, the top three is probably the Bills, the Chiefs, and then the Dolphins. I don't know if the Dolphins and Ravens played like a best of three, which they never would because it just doesn't work that way. But I think the Ravens might. The Ravens aren't a bad team. That was it was just it was like when Tua threw those balls up to Tyreek Hill. It's like, yeah, that's what Mahomes used to do, and so now you kind of think you need to forget everything you think about Tua and just think, yeah, it don't matter if you think he's good or bad. If he can get the ball to Tyreek Hill, then they put up points just like nothing. So the 2-0 team that I'm not buying into is the Giants. The Giants have played the Panthers and the Titans. Just you wait. And I think as much as I love my Vikings, I really think that the Lions have looked like the best NFC North team. They really they really did the past 2 weeks. Over 30 points the past 2 weeks. Come on. It ain't gonna be pretty. So anyways, until next time, let's keep watching football.